Charity Ngilu is a very experienced politician. She has been in politics and elective office for over 30 years now. And recently, she was asked a question which is on the minds of many Kenyans. Yeah. And her answer was super fascinating. And I want to share it with you, those of you who didn't catch it, yeah, and also analyze it. Ngilu was asked, what does the nomination of Martha Karua as Raila's running mate do to Kalonzo Musyoka's impact in the upcoming elections, especially the presidential elections? In other words, will it have any impact, negative impact, on Kalonzo Musyoka's influence and power in the combination? Ngilu's answer? Women all over the country, including women in Ukambani, are very excited about the nomination of Martha Karua as Deputy President designate or Raila Odinga's running mate. Ngilu said she has received calls from all over the country, including from her own sister deep in the rural areas, congratulating her, very excited at this development. Ngilu's conclusion? Azimio are going to get a lot of votes right inside the combination because of this single master stroke by Raila Amolo Odinga. Ngilu told us that approximately 51% of the people who vote in every Kenyan election are women. That is definitely a half, slightly over. Now granted, there are many people who will want to argue against what Ngilu is telling us, even with all our experience. Yeah, but we also have to admit that she's in Azimio, and therefore she's bound to say things that favor Azimio. So let's take a closer look at it. Maybe the first question we should ask is, what will be the stronger motivation for women voters in 2022? Tribe or gender? While we appreciate the fact that people are different, some will go for tribe, some will go for gender. But what will the majority go for, based on what we know? Now, for starters, we have to admit that women, if we're talking generally, women are less tribal than men. I'll give you one simple reason. Kenyan women have gotten married to different tribes all over the country. Now we know marriage is much more serious than just voting. Yeah, marriage is a lifelong thing. It's a lifetime thing. And more Kenyan women have crossed tribal barriers for marriage. That one you already know. I'm sure if you're taking this video, you already know personally quite a number of women who are not married to somebody from their own tribe. It is much more normal in Kenya today than it was when I was born a handful of days after independence, to a Luhya mother from Western Kenya and a Kamba father from Eastern Province in Kenya in those days. Bottom line, gender will be a strong motivation in the upcoming 2022 presidential elections. Yeah, that is a fact. And you know, I don't see how Kenya Kwanza and UDA can actually counter this. It is something which is unstoppable. Yeah, because already we have seen from the excitement countrywide over this Karua nomination. Yeah, and this is just the beginning. As we head closer to the elections, I predict this excitement will go even a notch higher. Yeah, so it is unstoppable. And so in a nutshell, what Ngilu was telling us is that this masterstroke by Raila will also hit Kalonzo. Yeah. Whatever votes he hoped to take away from Azimio, or whatever votes he hoped to play around with, yeah, dangling to Azimio to get his way, are not the same as they were before these Karua Manenos. That is the truth. In my opinion, if I'm right, wouldn't it be a totally beautiful thing to happen in Kenya, where people ignore their tribes, yeah, and vote for a person, even if gender is at the top of their mind, vote for a person who has contributed enormously to Kenya, totally ignoring their tribe or the tribe they come from, for once. Because this tribal monster has really messed us in Kenya. It has really messed up the decisions we take when electing our leaders. Wouldn't it be a totally beautiful thing if at least the women of Kenya ignored the tribes they come from and voted for a better Kenya? That would be wonderful. And I'm sure most of you agree. Now, Ngilu said something else during this interview where she fielded this question. She said that some leaders in Kenya think of leadership as something selfish. It's all about them. Yeah? It's all about me, myself, and I. That's the way she put it. While in actual fact, the way it should be is that you're a leader for the benefit of others. And she added that since she came into leadership, it has always been about her people. And I have to agree with her. Her record is clear. Even despite the other allegations of corruption and so on, we cannot deny that Charity Ngilu has done a lot for her people. Yeah? That one we cannot deny. Indeed, we can agree that her leadership style is for the good of the people she leads, the people she represents. And of course, she was hitting out indirectly at Kalonzo Musyoka. Because when you demand a position, and you put it in such a way that if you don't get that position, you will take action, and you don't stop for a minute to think that that action will affect your own people. Yeah, your people will not benefit in any way. In fact, your people will lose. Then one needs to question your credentials as a so-called leader. Yeah, I believe anybody who's very honest with themselves will agree with me. Folks, this coming election, the way things are shaping up, could be many things which we may not know. But one thing is for sure. It is not going to be a boring election. It is going to be a super interesting general election. Until next time, this is Kshs. Kumekucha.